God is our Father or Mother too. God is our dearest treasure. God's ever near, the one friend who loves us without any measure. Of his dreams our love was made, only from him is love repaid. Let us in gladness all live for him, serve him in every season, serve him with thought, with hand and lips, love him without any reason. God befriends us as we are, fools we that hold his love afar. God befriends us as we are, fools we that hold his love afar.
Isn't that a nice song? So sweet, no? So, I will be the first today to share a little bit about this topic, which is actually very nice because, in a way, it's sort of the essence of our path. Many are the pathways to truth. I was thinking about this from the point of Swamiji and Master. What better place to start thinking of this? And, if you think of them, they were both very clear in their mission and where they wanted to go, what they had to share with the world. But they were never not inclusive, and they never kind of, put barriers between. They were inclusive of everyone. Everyone felt welcomed and warm in their presence. So they were never dogmatic, about it. And I think Swamiji also was always encouraging everyone in Ananda not to be dogmatic and sit and make these boxes of we are this way and we are better than this and that. And in this reading too, we see Master was very much like that. Why make comparisons? Why compare with others? Everyone has their own way to go. There's this quote from, speaking of children's, we just sang a children's song. There's Little Secrets for Children, which Swamiji's written. And I've been just reading that. We have this little book. Very charming, very sweet. He uses a lot of visualization, so I get very excited because, I can use them in my art and make paintings with those and all. And I've been obsessed with this one, which I've been trying any excuse to share it this week. So I thought I'll share it because it's related in a way here. Where Swamiji says, life is so much nicer when we like others. So don't be like a vulture flying high in the sky looking down on others. Be like a hummingbird that's enjoying the colors, the bright colors. It goes to those beautiful bright colors everywhere. That's what it's attracted to. Isn't that sweet? It's such a sweet little quote. And what he's saying is, look for that divine, that truth in everyone, in everything around you, not just in trying to see what the faults are all the time or make these comparisons and boxes. And, in some way, you think of Master's vision. He came for this unity of, the whole, everyone, the world, science and religion, and he gave us self-realization for all. Kriya Yoga, which everyone can practice, no matter what religion, what belief, what faith. So he came to give us this big unity between East and West. He went to America, showing the essence of the teachings of Krishna and of Jesus. And so from that point, that was where he was coming. And then Swamiji took the essence of what he was doing and tried to put it and apply it in everything. In businesses, in leadership, in education, in the arts, music. He wrote all these books. He founded Ananda, which is an expression of trying to show that same unity which Master was trying to do. And he explains it in a beautiful way. He said, you can think of it as a wheel. And if you're looking at the wheel from the outside, from the rims of the wheel, then all the spokes seem different. They seem separate from each other. But when you go to the center of the wheel, you realize all the spokes are just a manifestation of that same essence. And so that's what he said he tried to do in all his writings, in whatever he did through Ananda. Go to the essence, find the spirit behind everything. And then when you apply God and the spirit of God to business and leadership and art and everything else, then everything becomes possible, it becomes easy, it becomes beautiful, isn't it? And I was thinking about this in terms of, Ananda. Yesterday, we came here to start an art club. And I was just thinking the whole day, there was so much going on in the center. In the morning, there was a yoga workshop. And then there was harmonium classes for people who wanted to come. Then there was the art club for those who wanted to join. Then we had a level 1 meditation class. Then there was a Kriya meditation. I was thinking, wow, there was a lot of stuff in the center we are doing, on one day. And even that is just like scratching the surface of what we all have to offer, isn't it? It's just very tiny. All these things are also just little things. And so much goes on here as expressions. So we are so lucky in a way. We have Ananda. We have so many. There's something for everyone to jump into. You don't want to do this? Okay, try that. Okay, try that. Okay, try that. But just be in the spirit together with other like-minded devotees. That's the whole point. And together we get our pathway clear. We know where we are going. We understand. And, sometimes it's nice, I was thinking, to think back on, when we first came to the path. And how it was for us. Maybe some of us went to other paths first and we read other books. We just explored different journeys and we got something from that. Until finally, maybe some of you here are still on that search, but maybe some of us, we found our path. But once we find our path, it's very important then to put energy into what we're getting from the gurus. Put energy into making it our own. And just anything we get, we have to put our individual effort and make it our own expression. And why? How do we do this? I was watching one of the videos from our Ananda village, a beautiful talk. And at the end of the video came this piano recital. We have a beautiful devotee there who plays the piano sometimes after the satsang. And so beautiful. I just suddenly, she's playing, one of these tracks from this album by Swamiji, Secrets of Love. So one of the tracks she was playing from it. And just because I wasn't expecting it, so all of a sudden she came and she was playing the piano. I just watching her face, I don't know what it was, her expressions, her devotion while playing that, it just brought the track alive for me. I just felt so inspired. And many times I've had that music playing, that album playing in the background while I'm doing something else or something. But I don't know what it was, but just watching again, her expressions, the way she had put her devotion into making that her own in a way, isn't it? Expressing it. I was thinking like if each of us is able in some way, some little way to express the Guru, he becomes alive in us. And then people can feel the Guru through us in that way. That's how we begin to serve him. That's how we feel in whatever tiny way that we can. It doesn't have to be a profound and big way, isn't it? It's just, and we become alive with the Guru. He's able to fill us with his presence. So that's how we get clearer. That's why we ask this question as we did. How shall I serve you? Every day, I think we have to just keep asking this. What else can I do, Master? What else can I do to support what's going on here? All these people who I've got in my life, what a blessing. What else can I do to support this? What else can I do to serve? What else can I do to be used? Use me. I want to be used as your instrument, your channel. And then I think the pathway starts becoming clearer and clearer for each of us. Each of us has to figure out where do we stand with this. Even within Ananda, there are so many pathways. But we all can walk together, helping each other become more and more clear this way and into greater freedom.
And just some brief thoughts to what Shamini was saying. And I love this topic in a way. Many are the paths to truth, although sometimes we forget many are the paths to truth. We had to give a class this morning about the second part of meditation. Many of you had to do the same wherever you were. And if you were doing same as us, you were talking about the 8 aspects of God, probably. A part of the class was that. And I was thinking, wow, I don't think I have experienced in my meditation even half of those aspects yet. And the little I have experienced, probably I have experienced only this much out of it, not even the full thing. And probably I think some of them I will not experience in my entire life, because the pathways to God are many. Some people will relate more or will be much more attracted towards light, and instantly they'll see the light, and light will be their pathway to God. Some people will hear the sound of Om very easily when the Om meditation comes, that technique that most everybody avoids. But some people they start with the Om technique because immediately they can go into Om or into one of the sounds, and that's their particular pathway to God. And then you start thinking that we are here in this path of Kriya Yoga. We are not in the path of, I don't know, whatever else is there out there. We are not in Christianity or whatever else it may be. And even within our own path, there is so many paths to truth that even in this path of Kriya Yoga, some people will be more inclined towards devotional practices. Some people will be more in the path of jnana. Some people will be more in the path of action, of karma yoga. And it is unavoidable to have that. Even then, Master would never relate to two disciples the same way. There is a very fascinating thing that if you really think about it, it just blows your mind, so to speak. That Master said that God has a unique song to play through you. And that song cannot be repeated by any other soul. It has never been repeated before, and it will never be repeated ever again. That all of us, we have our own individual path to truth, even though we are all part of the path of Kriya Yoga. But if you think of all the trillions, quintillions, sextillions, or infinite probably amount of souls that God keeps throwing out and keeps bringing back to himself, that is really, it's inconceivable to even think, how can each one of us have a unique path to God? And the funny thing is, it is a unique path to God, but the way is all the same. It's all through the spine. But how we uplift that energy in the spine, how we get to the spiritual eye, for all of us, it will be individual. Now, this really struck me one time when I was reading one of the disciples of Master, and correct me if I'm wrong, but she overheard somebody telling Yogananda that, oh, Master, I have done 108 Kriyas today, and Master was very pleased with that. And then she went, and he was one of the advanced disciples it was Durga Mata. She went to Master and said, Master, can I go to do 108 also? And she said, no, for you, do 36 all the time. Oh, 36 Kriyas, what? And those who have Kriya, you will understand. But he told her, your path is through chanting and individual counseling for people. Wow. Who will be able to say that? And so it is that it happens so often in the spiritual path, we become judgmental. I'll be saying like, wow, I don't see Amruta serving as much as I do. And Amruta will be, wow, I don't see Moshumi meditating as much as I do. What is she doing? And so on and so forth we go, and we start, as Shamini was saying, comparing, which is a waste of time because each one of us has our own individual path to God. Now, it's easy to say, oh, well, Master told somebody to do 36 Kriyas, so I will also do 36 Kriyas. Obviously, that is not the thing. As a general rule, probably all of us need to meditate more, or at least we need to meditate deeper, for sure. We all, I believe, had to put more effort into our spiritual life. There is no question about that. How we put that effort, we have to figure out. I love that reading from Affirmations for Self-Healing that says, no matter what other people say, basically, I will follow my own inner guidance. And that's a very important aspect. But we also have to remember that our inner guidance sometimes is also not correct. So it will be foolish to just say, no, I feel like I had to do this 100% and just go against everything else. Sometimes it's right, but also it helps to check with those who we believe are more spiritual advanced than us, or that we have confidence in them to guide us. It is always important to check, because even Swamiji, he will say, he will always, even though I believe his intuition was perfect, he was humble enough to say, you never know. I don't just go by intuition just like that and not check with common sense and sometimes with other people. Even he would say that. So there's always a balancing act. But this fact that we are all individuals, that we all have our own path within the path, is something to keep in mind. And you probably have heard me say this so many times, but there is this one particular phrase by Bhaduri Mahashaya, the Levitating Saint, that I really love. And I don't know why, it's always stayed with me as one of the more important, probably because I had problems with this in the past and I need to overcome them myself, and that's why. But it's just one line, and you will all remember this line. Yogananda tells the Levitating Saint, Maharishi, you are the first yogi I have known who always stays indoors. And then Bhaduri Mahashaya says, God plants his saints sometimes in unexpected soil, lest we think we may reduce him to a rule. And after that, the conversation is over. They don't mention it anymore at all. But God plants his saints in unexpected soil sometimes, lest we reduce him to a rule. Well, God plants his devotees also in unexpected soil, lest we reduce him to a rule. There is this last thing of Yogananda, and because we had to take something out of this as well, that Yogananda said, you are the center of your own universe. And that can be taken also in a very egoic way. Well, if I'm the center of my own universe, my opinion is the only opinion that matters, and I know how to rule my own universe. Obviously, it's not that what he meant. What he meant to say, we see things from our own experience. We see things from our own understanding. And it is from that understanding that we had to move forward. That it is that we had to learn what is the next step for me. What is the next positive step that I can take on the path. Sometimes it will be pushing myself with my meditation a little longer, or try to get rid of this at least, or do this bad habit for 5 less minutes than I usually do it. We have, from our own inner center, figured out what is that next step that will bring me closer to the divine. And because we are not isolated, we are not islands, we have people around us. People will come to us, or family, friends, colleagues, we never know, Guru Bhais, they may ask you also for something. Always remember, what is the next positive step that they also can take if it comes to you to answer such questions? That we all must have these lofty goals, we must, because that's the direction we are heading, but it is not enough. We have to see practically what are we going to do about it. And I think you can define the path as just putting one foot in front of the other. Banat Banjaya, as Lahiri Mahashaya said, doing, done. Finally, we reached there. And we had to have the wisdom to know where our limitations lie, where other people's limitations may lie, and help put one foot in front of the other. Because in the end, there is nothing else that we really can do. Even though we may become hard on ourselves, judgmental in ourselves, in others, what we have to do is always go with the criteria. Is this helping me expand? It is helping me become a little more aware of God, a little bit more in sympathy with other people. Are my actions that I think are so righteous and so kind and good getting negative response from other people? Introspect. Why is it getting negativity from other people? Is it because of them? Well, sometimes, but more often than not, it's us. It's because our motives perhaps were not pure, or perhaps were self-serving. So always guide yourself by that you are not withdrawing to yourself, being more in your ego, and help others also see how they can expand themselves, ideally, in the end, expand themselves, obviously, to infinity. Thank you.